Political analyst has been saying it all along. It will take time to determine the winner in the presidential race.
Let's go to WGN's Paul Lisnek. Did you get some rest?
No, actually, I have not.
No.
So
I'm sorry.
I was there all night, but that's all right. We'll keep going.
I'm sorry. Well, let's talk quickly about where we stand right now. We're waiting for some battleground states to come in, the numbers, but the president already starting to file charges, litigation, things like that. But we just said he really can't do that right now, can he?
Well, he can do whatever he wants, right?
But
Nobody stops you at a courthouse from filing some lawsuit.
Right.
But exactly. I mean, basically, there's nowhere to go with this right now. And here's a couple of interesting things about this. First of all, it was interesting that last night, Vice President Pence, in his speaking, basically said, you know, votes must be counted. We have to protect the right to vote. Rudy Giuliani today in the package that you ran sort of says, you know, the people have to decide who's going to win here. That's exactly what's going on here with the system. They're counting votes. It's interesting as well, Mike and Ray, that they're going after Pennsylvania, filing a lawsuit there, because truthfully, one of the outcomes that could happen here is if former Vice President Biden picks up Nevada, and that could happen very, very quickly, he's there, he's done. And if that's the case, he doesn't even need Pennsylvania. And so going after Pennsylvania doesn't really serve much purpose for the president. So maybe you ought to wait to see how exactly it is Joe Biden gets to 270, if that's where Biden ends up.
And that 270 number is so important, and we haven't really addressed it, but I know, you know, a lot of us are watching the numbers come in. People are getting their information from as many sources as they can, trying to get some information. Some have noticed that maybe the electoral vote count is a little bit different based on this polling group, and then another one that the AP relies upon. Do you want to try to explain why the difference there, and do you think that matters much?
You know, it's interesting. I actually have gotten some texts about that tonight, or emails from people saying, you know, why is it that Arizona is in Biden's column with AP and with Fox News, but not with CNN, and, you know, just naming names here because that's, and the bottom line is it has to do with how these organizations reach their decisions. Some organizations use exit polls, and based on, you know, complicated formulations, calculations, where the votes are coming from, how many are outstanding, and all of that can create a formula that with some degree of certainty or uncertainty lets them reach the conclusions that they do. AP has chosen to basically not reach their conclusions until they have absolute certainty that a result will be the way it is. Arizona is a real interesting one because AP has called it, but CNN has not yet, and CNN has not talked about why they haven't called it. That being said, when you look at where the numbers from Arizona are coming in from the perspective of an organization that hasn't called it, they're coming in from Democratic areas and Democratic suburbs, and the same is true with Nevada. It's the Las Vegas area that's due to come in, and which, by the way, is a fairly Democratic area, but at the same time, it's also been hit with the pandemic in terms of having to close the casinos and all of that, right? So it's a real test bed, so to speak, in terms of what's going on with Nevada. Anyway, those are the kind of factors, Ray, that go into an organization's decision as to whether they're ready to call a race.
Can we talk a little bit about the demographics? We're hearing that the demographics in Arizona seem to be changing, and that may be one reason why, according to the AP, that state went for Biden.
Yeah, well, yes, it is getting younger. There is there's no question that Arizona is starting to, you know, go in the blue direction, and it's ending up blue where we are. But you can't discount the Cindy McCain endorsement. You know, President Trump, for better or for worse, went after John McCain at every turn, and that was enough for Cindy McCain. And the McCain name in Arizona is beloved. And so, and my understanding is that President Trump was approached by his staffers, and, you know, maybe we should talk to Cindy McCain and, you know, try and ease this off, and that was not something he was willing to do. And I think he paid a price for it. I think in the end, Arizona loves the McCains. Arizona loves Cindy McCain. So as much as the demographics are changing, Micah, you're right about that. But I think this time around, you can't discount the McCain factor and the fact that it upset a lot of people.
Exactly. All right, WGN political analyst Paul Lisnek, thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
See you soon, guys. Thanks.
There is a